nawalan na nga po kami, tapos marami po talagang hindi napapansin.
Okay, thank you so much, sino to? Miss Colliantes. Napolcom, di ba meron siyang 1-year salary, 1 monthly pension, burial expenses, 3 months salary, para sa kasi ito yung mga binigay, di ba? But yung sa educational ng mga anak, the chair would like to acknowledge the presence of Vice Chair Romy Acob. Rico, please.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Under our rules po, meron po tayong binibigay na scholarship para po sa mga qualified children of the policemen who passed away in the course of their duty. So we will look into this po, no? Usually po kasi na-deny kapag hindi na-prove na sila po ay children o yung asawa. Minsan po kasi mga common law, kaya po hindi nagagrantan. But we will give preferential attention to this matter po.
Kailangan kasi kasal.
Yes,
Hindi kayo nakasal.
Sir, nung araw po na yun, kasal po dapat namin, pero hindi po kami nakasal. Pero sir, may anak po kami.
Yun nga, yung mga ganun sitwasyon di ba?
So, paano naman po yun, di ba?
Mr. Chair, pwede naman po kapag po proof po na children naman nila yung we can give the assistance. So, baka lang po it's a matter of evidentiary submissions lang po.
And that's a very reason why we are conducting this hearing, para at least malaman ng mga naging biktima ng mga pulis, no? Yung mga namatay, yung mga nasugatan, yung mga nagkaroon ng kaso, that this committee will be helping them to have a kung sakasakali ng special account, no? Para do sa budget natin for 2025, masama natin yung mga ganitong klase na napabayaan, no? Sa war on drugs.
Chairman,
Okay, Congressman.
may I just know kung meron bang investigation ito? Yung kay police officer or policeman Colliantes? Meron bang official, may investigation ba ito? May result ba ng investigation? Kasi we would like to know kung ito ba ay EJK related. Hindi natin alam kung ano ba nangyari dito. Buwi na hindi bumalik at namatay. Hindi natin alam kung ano ba. Meron bang investigation ito in the first place? We'd like to know from the PNP kung meron ba ito.
So we will have to, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, we will have to check sir the case and we will approach Mrs. Colliante later. Sir, sir. Sir, I will let General Sinayog answer, sir.
Okay, go ahead, China.
Your Honor, sir.
Sinayog. Go ahead.
Thank you, sir. Sir, ang recommendation ng head of office niya is that the office recommends that all benefits due to P1 Georgian unless large disable should be awarded to his legal beneficiaries. So, apparently, sir, hindi ito, this is in the line of duty, sir, yung pagkamatay.
Okay. Kaya kailangan talaga natin categorize Hindi. Okay. We need to categorize talaga. Check nyo muna, no? Para, And then, afterwards, siguro sa Monday, if we will be continuing our investigation on this, we'll be citing all those names, no? Na in line of duty. Para at least matulungan natin. Okay. I'll be showing lang. Sige, Chairman.
Short question lang, Mr. Chair, sa PNP. Para lang for our education. Kasi, iniimbestiga natin yung extrajudicial killings o EJK na kadikit dun sa pag-implement ng war on drugs. No? Marami pong nangyari na namatay, no? 6,000 sa datos ng PNP ang namatay, no? Sabi nga ito daw po ay mga nanlaban. So we'd like to get maybe in the next hearing, Mr. Chair, no, yung records nung kung 6,000 yung nanlaban, 6,000 yung namatay, maaaring ganun din karami yung armas na ginamit panlaban, no? And I'm sure nasa depository o nasa evidence room ng PNP yan. Pangalawa, pinag-usapan din natin yung reward system. Apparently, the war on drugs ay nagkaroon ng reward system na kung saan ay merong pumatay at merong kumita. No? Pangatlo, which I think needs more substantial information, meron bang quota system? Yung sinasabi, kunyari isang istasyon, ang quota mo, 500 drug pusher ngayong buwan na ito. Kasi yun ang information na karating sa amin, no? So, I don't know if the PNP will be able to answer us with that, no? If I am certain na wala naman dokumento nagsasabing may quota. Pero kayo, sa inyong karanasan, sa inyong nalalaman, meron bang in-implement na quota ang bawat mga opisyal o bawat istasyon sa pag-implement nitong war on drugs? Is there anyone from PNP who can answer that?
Okay, from General.
Sir, personally, sir, I was provincial director during from 2016 to 2018 at wala naman akong wala naman silang sinabing quota na ibibigay sa akin, sir. I was the provincial director then of Ifugao Police Provincial Office, sir.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, go ahead.
with due respect to Police General that answered the query of Chairman Barbers, and of course of the whole PNP, ano naman yan eh, sa totoo lang po, if you check all the records now of all those police officials, not all, but hindi rin most, some, para safe, some of those police officers that was dismissed are drug-related in relation to quota. Well, in fact, I can mention one, no? I can mention one, and I will mention a lot of police officers, maybe in my time, before we suspend. For example, I talked to former Chairman Nograles, now running for mayor in, unfortunately, he decided to run in Davao. Anong budget plenary debate, doon kami nag-usap. May isang case doon po on appeal sa CEC. Kaya, ang decision ng CEC is favorable to that police official that was dismissed by Napolcom because the basis is the quota. Now, of course, that is not, kumbaga, unwritten policy. No? And that is being used, yun ang pinakamasakit sa lahat eh. Some of the police officials are being dismissed by Napolcom because of such basis. So, kaya, of course, that's an unwritten policy. Alam po natin yun. But sa totoo lang po, whether we will admit it or not, may mga kaso talaga na may mga police officers na pinadismiss dahil dyan sa quota-quota. And they will testify, Mr. Chairman, if we will invite them and we will allow them to speak and we will check the Napolcom, we will check the civil service. Kasi po, ang tanong kanina ni Attorney Congressman Acharon, with regards to legal remedies by police officials being dismissed by Napolcom, mayroon pa po. Pwede pa po sa civil service. And in fact, kaya nga mamaya I will move for the civil service also, Mr. Chairman, to be invited in the next hearing and submit to us all cases that was filed. Appeal of all those police officials that was dismissed in the period of 2016 to 2022. The present status, because some of them was already unfavorably decided by CAC to be dismissed. But there is a case now, and it might be confirmed or official, but I want it to be confirmed by the CAC and of course by the police officials in the next hearing, a certain police superintendent Gumbok.
Ano?
Gumbok. Siya po yung, nung pinatawag ang lahat ng police ni General Bato, siya po yung ni PNP Chief Bato the time. Yung pangising-isi, yung sinabi niya, ikaw Gumbok, pangising-isi ka pa dyan. Yun yung Gumbok. Now, I cannot confirm it, but I have information that Gumbok, the appeal of Gumbok was favorably decided for him by the Civil Service Commission. Richard Gumbok on the grounds of I think if my memory serves me right, you might correct me or not, if I'm wrong, that was a statement given to me by former Chairman Nograles. When I asked about the cases, pending cases, babalikan ko po mamaya yan kasi ito, pattern to eh. Mr. Chairman, pattern to na nangyari. Now, you're citing about the case of Kumbok, and I think now, the document or the papers of Superintendent Kumbok is now with, I think, with the PNP or with Napolcom after the decision favorably of the CSC. I do not know, but that is the information that I get.
Okay. Chairman, okay, go ahead.
It was 2 weeks ago.
Can you kindly give us all those personalities that
Ganito po, Mr. Chairman, ganito lang.
before I recognize
Before Mr. Chairman, I present to this committee and to the police officials. I have with me a memorandum from the office of the Vice Chairman and Executive Officer. That time is Attorney Roy Riorti Casurao. He was then the Vice Chairperson of the Napolcom when President Duterte assumed as President. Now, dated August 18, 2016. This is addressed to all regional directors. And this order from the Napolcom addressed to all regional directors emanates from the public statement of the former President dated August 7. Dito po sinabi ni President Duterte, lahat po ng listahan ng mga police officials involved in the drug list. Well, in fact po, for the record, hindi pa nga po kompleto yung mga names. Hindi ko rin ma-confirm, but some of the information that I got is handwritten pa po. For example, in the case, ito ngayon, in the case of police superintendent o senior superintendent at the time, the Regional Intelligence Unit Chief ng Region 6, police senior superintendent Hipana, the underclass of, the classmate of, General Pardo. Di ba, ma'am? Kaklase mo siya? Yes. Okay, now, ang nakalagay dito sa record is, mali pa po. Hinipa. Walang first name. Ang nilagay lang dito, Police Superintendent Hinipa. Well, in fact, in short, that's only the sample. Some of them dito, hindi po tama yung
Wrong spelling.
wrong spelling. At the same time, yung rank, pati assignment.
Dismiss ya?
Yan ang dismiss. Now,
Oh my God.
why I'm telling this, no? Supposedly, and I hope the Napolcom, now with the new leadership of Attorney Vice Chair Bernabe, I hope you check on this, no? Because I have information. While this memorandum is addressed to all regional directors of Napolcom, the only region that conducts investigation during the time is only the regional office of Region 6. Why? Because most of the officers subject for investigation that time and was dismissed was assigned in Region 6. And look at the dates. Hindi na ito coincidental. Because the first statement of the former president is August 7 and the memorandum was issued August 18. When was President Duterte sit or assumed office? That was July 1. A matter of 1 month. Now why? And most in the list are police officials, decorated police officers. And eto, why Region 6 lang? But the memorandum is for all regions. Why? Because eto,
Political vendetta.
tama po. This is a political vendetta. Why? Because during that election, and we know for the fact, this is public knowledge, every election, Region 6 is a yellow country. Ako nga, sa totoo lang po, in this administration, saludo nga ako ngayon eh. Of course, baka pwede yung sabihin na I am a campaigner of BBM. Pero tingnan mo, during the 2016 presidential election, alam nyo, ilan ang lamang ni BP Lini against now President Bongbong Marcos? More than 500,000 only in Negros Occidental, because Region 6 is a yellow country. I am not campaigning for Mar that time. But most of my kababayan is campaigning for Mar. I am with Grace po. Natalo sa Grace po. Okay lang. Oh. Pero ang sinasabi ko lang is, why? This memorandum is for all the regional directors of Napolcom. And only in Region 6 now. Mali-mali na po yung tinawag na pangalan at saka official, pati assignment. Ito, kinonfirm ni General Pardo po na classmate niya si Police Senior Superintendent Hipana, ngayon dismiss o napili sa CEC, o pero ang nakalagay dito, Hinepa. Wala pang first name. Now, class 96. Now, ito po, Mr. Chairman, ito po yung sinasabi ko po. For example, a certain Police Senior Superintendent Ricardo de la Paz, my kababayan, I do not know the real record of de la Paz. Pero I know, retired na. Diba, retired na ngayon. Si de la Paz, class 84 ata siya, PNPA, no? Classmate of DJ Lasso. Ito, pinapiyaw to. Alam mo, kausap ko yung mga kamag-anak. Gusto siya palabasin doon, pauwiin. Sa kami, hindi po to umuwi. Dahil takot na baka ang tawag nila doon, akay daw, akay during the time. Akayan ka. Paglabas mo, o doon ka na yayarayin. Just like what happened with all those in the drug list of the former president, nirelieve, pinadala ko sa malalayo, saan, doon namatay. And sinabi ko nga kanina, an example of that is, ito, sa region ko lang, the province ko. How about in other provinces? The case of Rapis. I am not saying that Rapis is a clean policeman, police officer, but though he deserved to be relieved and be assigned in other places, tapos doon na i-assassinate. Diba? The same is true with all those cases of riding tandem in which the victims are police officers. Kaya nga po, Mr. Chairman, before I forgot, I would like to move that the police officers to General Pardo and of course General Torre to submit in this committee all cases of killings or death under investigation, kasi karamihan dito wala naman talagang resulta. Those police officials that was leave in their post and assigned in other places at doon po namatay, they were killed. Now second is all cases involving PNP officials that was killed by riding in tandem. Napakarami po dito sa Metro Manila. Well, in fact, a case in which gusto ko rin po buksan yan, maybe in the Quadcom, yung nangyari po dun sa Bulacan. Yung involved doon yung isang station, Marilao ata, Marilao, Bulacan, kasi almost all those officials, police officers from NCRPO, yung iba ngayon nagtatago kasi siguro, yung iba doon namatay. Pinatay din po. And I hope General Torre is familiar with this. Yung kaso doon sa bypass na involved yung NCRPO. Anyway, I will just ask the chairman and give him all the records, no? Para po may sama natin sa investigation. Because this will only prove na talaga pong may problema yung previous war on drugs. Now, Mr. Chairman, I will not anymore belabor to name all those police officials. I will just submit this to the to the chair, no? Yung 95 ata naka-record dito. But just for purposes of record, sa kamalaman ng public, I have with me the 19 police officers that was dismissed. And until now, ang pamilya po nila is suffering. Sila po is suffering. Their moral, lahat po, tinamaan po sila. Well, in fact, sinabi ko kanina, may isang official, certain, eto, kilala ko dahil tagamin, yung Ipil Dunyas po, underclass ni General Pardo, underclass ni General Torre, but well, in fact, ako, I am very sure of his record na mas nauna pa siyang naging kapitan from lieutenant to captain kay General Torre. It is a class, upper class niya, masyado. Siya rin po, mas nauna pa na maging major. Pero, he is at the wrong place or wrong assignment at the wrong time. Kasi po, nasa schooling siya noon, taga Iloilo, naging deputy chief of police ng Iloilo, that time, nabutan siya ng bagong presidente, Marroas country, ang mayor noon Mabilog, which is also accused by former president, na drug protector, kawawa po yung police. Until now, under appeal. Nasa CEC po. Kaya Mr. Chairman, baka makalimutan ko rin, we might as well invite the representative from the Civil Service Commission to be present on the next hearing. So move, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so there's a motion to invite the Civil Service Commission and all the documents that the Chairman of Public Accounts wanted to secure and be submitted to this committee.
Allow me na lang, Mr. Chairman. No?
Any second motion? Duly seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, the said motion is now approved.
Thank you, Chairman. Sorry po. Ano lang ako, nagbabalita na
salita mo, brother.
I just want, allow me, Chairman, I just want to read, no? All those police officials lang na 19 kasi ang memo kasi is supposedly, sabi ko nga, is supposedly the memorandum is addressed to all regional directors of NAPOLCOM, but yung investigation talaga nangyari is with Region 6 lang. What a coincidence. Now, Mr. Chairman, number 1 the list is former police senior superintendent si Leben po, Hill Leben, retired na raw ngayon ko. Ewan ko anong status niya ngayon. Is he retired now, ma'am? Si Leben po. Si Colonel Leben. Anong class ngayon niya nga?
Class 83, sir, if I'm not mistaken, sir.
Mas senior pa pala ito ni Dilapas. Now, second is Police Chief Inspector Rio Maymay.
Names
Rio Maymay, Police Chief Inspector Kenneth Militar. Mga kawawa po to. Police Senior Inspector Elvis Nasco. Ito, Ross from the ranks, retired na ngayon. Hindi nakakuha ng ng benefits siya. Rather emoluments, no? But Police Inspector Ramiro Christopher D. Jose, Police Inspector Lito Duarte, retired. Police Chief Inspector Vicente Vicente. Ito po, at the wrong place, at the wrong time din to. Kasi hindi hindi taga Region 6 eh. Na-assign lang. No? Pati itong si Maymay. Hindi rin taga Region 6 to. And Police Chief Inspector Vicente Vicente, Police Chief Police Chief Superintendent Bernardo Diaz. Nakalista din to. Pinaimbestigahan din. Kaya lang, siyempre, because that time, he is the regional director, ang rank niya po is general, hindi po under sa NAPOLCOM. Di pa po? Doon na po sa Malacanang. And nakapag-retire po to. Ito po yung isa, yung logic po dito. While the General Diaz was listed in the Duterte's list and honorably retired. Pero yung mga tao niya sa baba until now is suffering their cases. Dismissed by NAPOLCOM, ngayon po under appeal sa CEC. Some of them, but not all. Yung iba siguro may mga dismissal na. Ayun po yung irony. Yung most senior Region 6 director that time of the PNP, what was also listed in the original list of Duterte, noong August 7 niya na sinabi, honorably retired. Pero itong mga tao sa baba, nakasama niyang pinaimbestigahan, kinasuhan, and until now, hindi pa nakabalik. 6 years? 7 years? Walang sahod.
Okay.
Ito po, Mr. Chairman.
Mahaba na.
Oh, nakubumbok.
Okay, naintindihan ko.
Anyway,
And I will be asking all those personalities to be
Okay,
invited.
po.
Yes.
Ito, special lang to, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, sige, go ahead.
Yung,
Last mo na, last na.
Yung sinabi ko kanina, I mentioned about Police Superintendent Ricardo de la Paz. Nakapag-retire na po. I'm not saying that he's clean. No? Hindi ko siya inabsorb. But what I am saying is, kinasuhan ng Napolcom, ewan ko kung yung appeal niya, tapos na ba sa CSC, o nag-court of appeal siya, I do not know. But Mr. Chairman, all of these police officials that was dismissed or pending cases in the CSC or in other regular courts, baka dun sa Court of Appeals, will be invited in the next hearing para po sila na mismo makapagsabi kung ano talaga nangyari. And please, since the case of Richard Gumbok, sir, nandiyan naman po sa inyo, pakicheck lang po kasi as far as I know, kung tama pong information ko, the basis for the dismissal of Napolcom during the time and it was absolved by the Civil Service Commission because of the quota. Ito po yung Vicente, alam mo, itong Vicente, he was assigned in Banate. Alam mo, kinasuhan siya dahil comparative. Just a mere comparative. Nung previous chief of police daw, ganito yung sitwasyon. Maraming hulihan. Nung time niya, wala nang hulihan. Kaya, nag-protector ka. Ganun lang ba kasimple? Yan yung sinasabi ko, Mr. Chairman. We want to protect the organization of police, of the PNP. Ako dito, wala akong sinasabi na kung papanig ko nino. Alam niyo naman yung record ko. You check my record in my province. And even in my region, almost, if not all, if not all, yung mga bagong building doon ng mga polis, ako po naglabi niyan na may patayo. Pati yung regional office namin ngayon, may 30 million na bagong administrative building dyan po na polis. Lahat ng mga stasyon doon ngayon na bago, not all, but most of them, pinatayo. Tinulungan ko po, nilabi ko po sa mga budget. Every year, I have allocated budget in my request doon sa police. Kaya po, hindi pwede, ako saan ako, na may bias ako. I just want to help the organization of police. Kasi po, pag ganito yung kalakaran, kahit yung bata-bata system. Kaya nga, sabi ko nga wrong place at the wrong time. Yung mga to, mas kilala niyo yung mga tao.
Okay.
Diba? Kasi kaklase niyo, ma'am. Underclass niyo.
Chairman,
Diba?
20 minutes ka na.
So
20 minutes ka na.
Mr. Chairman,
Okay.
just on record, I just want to submit
Alright.
this document,
Yeah.
including the list of all PNP officials that has a pending case in the CSC. And of course, pakikuha na lang po na Polcom yung status ng lahat ng mga ano. And sa police din po, sa PNP, please submit to this committee before the next hearing po.
Alright, so thank you so much Congressman Paduano. At by the way, may nag-text sa akin yung Canutan was never cleared from the drug list daw. Anyway, siguro ibalik lang natin kay Chairman Barbers, no? Kasi ang bino-point out ni Congressman Caraps dito, yung mga nailalagay sa mga drug list. Kumbaga, nailalagay na isasama. And ako, yes, hindi dapat. And unfortunately, until now, may napapasama pa rin sa drug list ng mga high-value target. I think Chairman Barbers, kasama ka sa HBT. Kaya medyo nagugulat ako.
Mr. Chairman.
Congressman Barbers, kasi kanina si Chairman ako will be asking about yung quota and the HBT. But of course, siguro, kasama ka ba sa bagong drug list?
Hindi, ako po yung nagtataka lamang. I'm sure this is not probably just my experience, but I'm sure marami tayong kasamaan na nagiging subject ng tirades or yung mga fake news, no, sa social media. Ako nga, I've been advocating, I am an anti-illegal drugs advocate, but now I am now considered as a drug lord. So, if you're going to base it doon sa mga social media na lumalabas, perhaps that's just one way of these people trying to discredit and probably destroy the credibility of the Quad Committee. Hindi po ako lang. Hindi naman po ako ang Quadcom. Ako lamang po ang isa sa mga kasamahan ng aking mga magagaling na mga co-chairs, no? But ito ay kung nangyari nga yan sa pag-discredit, pagsira o paninirang puri sa mga membro o kawani ng Philippine National Police, hindi po malayo na tayo bilang mga political personalities ay maging biktima rin ito. And I will attest to that because ako mismo na-experience ko yan. So ngayon, drug lord na ako. That I've been fighting this drug war for several decades since I became a politician in 1995. Until now, I'm an anti-illegal drug advocate. Now, it's just now, this year, that I've been considered a high-value target. Thank you, Congressman.
Naniniwala ako ba sa mga alam mo naman mga trolls lang yun eh. At we congressman, nandun tayo sa grounds eh. Alam natin yung sentiment ng ating mga kababayan. And we know the real yung sentimiento nila at they are happy, no? Na nalalaman nila yung mga katotohanan that happened, no, in the last administration. And we are very thankful do sa mga support ng ating mga kababayan. At pag nakakita ka ng mga comments doon sa mga TikTok, palampasin mo na yun, huwag mo na tignan. Kasi alam naman natin na bayad yan.
Actually, hindi ko naman pinapansin yan and I don't want to give them the pleasure of laughing behind our backs by, seeing us getting affected. Hindi po tayo affected doon. Ang ano ko nga sana sa kanila, galingan nyo pa. Kasi parang kulang yung galing nyo. Yung mga vloggers lang. Anyway, I think si Congressman Acop is
yes, it's this about the quota system also, and I wanted to be clarified on this. And Chairman Acop wanted to discuss something about it. Sige, Chairman Acop, please.
Mr. Chair, marami pong salamat. The issues raised by the Honorable Barbers have not been answered. Number one, nasaan na po yung 6,000 plus na firearms? Wala pa naman sumasagot po sa inyo eh. Where are they? Nasaan? Are they not considered to be pieces of evidence and therefore in the custody of evidence custodians? Nasaan?
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, sir, may I reply?
Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Sir, since it is part of the evidence, sir, I'm just assuming, sir, it's in the custody, sir, of forensic group, but we will relay, sir, this concern, sir, to the concerned office and probably ask them, sir, to submit the report, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Chair, may I move that the PNP submits an inventory of all the firearms which were recovered from every crime scene involving illegal operations against illegal drugs.
There's a motion to submit all those documents pertaining to those firearms.
Yung inventory.
Oh, yeah, inventory.
Will find out there are 6,000.
There's a motion. After the motion, I'll be recognizing Colonel Balones. So, any second motion? Duly seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, the said motion is now approved. Colonel Balones, please.
Your Honor, sir, I thank you for recognizing me. I would just like to inform the body that from July 1, 2016 to June 30, 2022, the 9,698 firearms related to the drug cases were under the custody of forensic group. The 1,424 were either turned over to the court or prosecutor. And the 8,274 are under the custody of the PNP Forensic Group.
Okay.
May I know why only a certain number were submitted to the court as pieces of evidence, and the others, a greater number, with the custody of the forensics unit of the PNP?
I have a statement here, if I may be allowed to read. The majority of the firearms seized in connection with the war on drugs were predominantly loose and homemade firearms, meaning they were unregistered or illicitly obtained, of which some are they are illicitly obtained. These firearms are being used by various criminal elements, including drug syndicates, and are often employed in violent confrontation with law enforcement. So, they were found intact and properly kept in the respective forensic group evidence rooms. Now, as to the questions of why there were only 1,424, this matter will be referred back to the records of the case to give you, Your Honor, the appropriate answer.
When you say that they are with the forensics group, they're not considered as pieces of evidence, and they were not found in the crime scene. Is it not proper that all firearms recovered in the crime scene are considered pieces of evidence and therefore to be submitted with the court?
Yes, Your Honor.
And why are they still in the possession of the forensics unit of the PNP?
Well, our record says that 1,424
The question, Colonel, is why.
We will
Please answer the question why. It starts with the word because.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, may I be allowed to answer, sir? Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, Your Honor, with respect to the question of Congressman Acop, sir, there are cases, sir, that the court will have the final disposition whether particular evidence, including firearms, should be submitted before the court. There are courts, sir, kasi sir, nagre-refuse to take custody, sir, ng mga barrel, even some pieces of evidence, because they don't have the proper storage. So some of this evidence, I presume, sir, retained by ang forensic group, sir, ang nag-retain ng custody. But just the same, sir, because there's already a instruction for us to submit the inventory, sir. We will submit, sir.
Yeah, the reason why I'm asking this question simply because it has been a question asked also by civilians. Kung 6,000 plus yung incident, there should be 6,000 firearms. Kasi ang rason po ninyo ng laban eh. Di po ba? That is precisely the question ng laban. Kasi according to our reports, there were orders then for the PNP to procure firearms from Cebu, yung gawaan ng Paltic doon sa Danao, para magamit, para hindi isang firearm yung pinaglilipat-lipat. Okay? Now, on the issue of quota, sabi po ninyo, wala pong quota. Would that be correct? Yun po yung second issue ni Honorable Barbers eh.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, sir, I will be speaking.
Teka, iya.
Yes,
Ikaw
sir.
pa yung nag-take your oath? Briefing lang? Okay. Well,
Bro, before you proceed, no, the chair would like to acknowledge the presence of Chairman Abante and Congressman Luis. So go ahead, Chairman Acop.
yes, please answer my question, Madam.
Mr. Chair, Your Honor, sir, I will be speaking in my capacity as during the time of the Duterte administration, the drug war, sir, I was the chief of police. I could say, in all honesty, sir, there was no quota given to us. Let's say, in a week, dapat meron kang arrest na 5 o may killed ka na. There was no written whatsoever, even verbal instruction to us to come up with a number of arrests in a week's time. However, probably, sir, some of the station who were really at the height of their career, sir, would like to impress their superiors and deliver some accomplishment. Probably, sir, the pressure is really there during that time to deliver accomplishment. But in all honesty, sir, yung quota, sir, there was no specific policy given to us, either written or verbal, sir. At least, sa personal kong experience, sir, as during my time as COP and even my time during provincial director, sir.
Thank you. So you only speak for yourself when you were a chief of police. Now, may I know, doon sa implementation ng O-Plan Double Barrel, the first aspect is O-Plan Tokhang. Hindi ba kasama doon sa pagre-report ninyo, sa accomplishment report, yung mga nagiging chief of police or station commanders before, ay kailangan may matokhang kayo na number of houses?
That is correct, sir. When we speak, sir, of the number of tokhang conducted, sir, the chief of police were required to submit reports. How many houses, how many drug users were visited and undergone tokhang, sir. That I could confirm, sir.
And totoo ba yung kwan na sa isang buwan ay dapat meron kayong 50 households na matokhang?
Sir, during my time, wala, sir, ganun, sir, na dapat. Depende po kasi yun, sir, eh. Kasi, sir, yung magiging subject po, sir, ng house visitation will depend on the number of drug personalities reported by the BADAC. So, hindi po talaga yung efforts na i-exert, sir, ng particular station probably might differ doon sa ibang mas maraming drug personalities. So, wala po talagang specific numbers given to us po, sir.
Okay. Granting without accepting your proposition or your statement, is it not also correct na yun po ay basehan ng pagpropromote po ninyo ng inyong mga tauhan?
Like I said, Mr. Chair, Your Honor, earlier, sir, na nandun yung pressure definitely, sir, for the station commanders to deliver accomplishment. So probably, sir, that really triggers the intention to really deliver accomplishment in terms of arrest and probably of some...
So indirectly, nagkakaroon po sa kaisipan ng inyong mga membro, ay nagkakaroon po ng kaisipan na dapat ma-reach ko yung quota. Kasi nagpapasikatan na sila, nagpaparamihan. Would that be correct?
Possibly, sir. Possibly, sir.
Possibly. So, Honorable Barbers, that I think answers your two issues raised.
Okay, thank you so much. Kasi hanggang 12:30 lang po talaga tayo. But, meron kasi nga, kung ba bakit tayo hanggang 12:30 lang daw eh. But, sa iyo, Dagok muna.
I would just like, Mr. Chair, to move that the next hearing we will invite Representative Pampao, no, from Public Attorney's Office, because basically this committee hearing, no, the objective or the purpose is to give legal assistance, no, doon sa mga kaso ng mga pulis. So we will invite a representative from PAO so that we can ask if at present, no, the PAO can create a special unit for the purpose.
Okay, thank you so much, Congressman Dacook. We'll be inviting the PAO head, no?
DBM, Mr. Chair.
And also what?
DBM, Mr. Chair. Can we
DBM?
DBM here? Para malaman natin kung may...
Oh yeah, okay, we'll be inviting also the DBM. I wanted to show you something before, kung wala na pong iba, I'll be showing lang muna yung isang presentation. Kasi ito survey to that was conducted by the Policy Studies, Research and Statistics Division of the Dangerous Drugs Board. Ito yung mga I wanted to show you, ito yung kinonduct na survey. Noong 2004, yung pong Policy Studies, Research and Statistics Division ng Dangerous Drugs, nag-conduct sila noong 2004 ng survey. Ito data to 6.7 million drug users. Noong 2008, the same survey that they conducted, bumaba yung ating drug users, naging 1.7 million drug users na lang. And then suddenly, noong 2015, after so many years, 1.8 drug users. Yan po yung sinabi ni Benjamin Reyes. Siya po ang dating chairman ng DDB, na 1.8 million noong 2015, according sa survey na yan. Then, nag-jump siya ng 4 million because this person, si Benjamin Reyes, was issued an order from the former president to be relieved from his position. Dahil mali nga daw yung 1.8, dahil dapat daw 4 million yung drug users. I just wanted to show sa inyo na 2004 to 2008, according sa survey, that's the reason why we will be inviting the Policy Studies, Research and Statistics Division of the Dangerous Drugs Board. Para malaman natin, what is the reason why bumaba yung drug users from 2004 to 2008, from 6.7 to 1.7. Even without the war on drugs that was implemented noong 2016, bumaba naman pala tayo eh.
Mr. Chair.
Yes. Kaya nga, we wanted to find out what was the reason for this substantial reduction of drug users from 2004 to 2008. Hindi po ako nagsasabi nito survey po to that was conducted by the Dangerous Drugs Board. So we want to find out ano yung policy that were conducted during that time that lead to substantial reduction of drug users. And why from 2015, it was increased to 4 million drug users. So, yan yung po ating pag-uusapan sa susunod na hearing. Huwag na po natin pag-usapan ngayon because wala na po tayong oras. Pinaalis na po tayo dito. But because wala na po tayong time, we will be accommodating lang Congressman Richard Gomez and kung sino pa po iba, then we will be suspending this hearing. Congressman Richard Gomez, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Actually, ngayon ko lang nakita itong data na ito. But initially, ang aking impression dito, Mr. Chair, there is a big possibility that during the time of 2008 and between 2008 and 2015, baka hindi intensified ang pag-raid sa case ng mga drugs. Because in 2016, when the President Duterte sat, there was a strict order na magkaroon ng fight against drugs. So yung na-intensify yung laban sa drugs, kaya maraming nare-report ng mga cases, kaya tumaas ito. And that's the reason, if I remember right, Mr. Chair, I don't know if that was during the inaugural SONA ni President Duterte or one of his press conference. Sinabi niya na the reason na gusto niyang gawin tong fight against drugs is because the Philippines is already becoming a narco state. Or parang sinabi niya, we are already in a state of narcotics. Parang it's something to that effect. That is why na-intensify yung fight against drugs. And that is isusupport na ako yung sinabi ni General Fajardo na during the time na COP siya, hindi ko alam kung LCA tayo nun chairman, talagang yung mga police, inutusan talaga na mag-intensify sa laban sa drugs. And siguro that's the reason kung bakit mataas yung reporting ng year 2016 na umabot siya ng 4 million.
Yes. Oh, yun ang ating pong pag-uusapan sa next hearing, no? Yung sudden jump from 1.8 to 4 million. And at the same time, ano yung policy that was implemented from 2004 to 2008 until 2015? Kasi mababa po siya eh. 6.7 tapos naging 1.7 tapos naging 1.8 lang yung mga drug users. And then suddenly nag-jump. So yun po tayo sa next hearing.
Mr. Chair, quick.
Okay, Congressman Luis.
May I just suggest that we invite the focal person of whoever conducted this survey?
Yes,
So we will hear what parameters they considered in conducting and coming out with those figures.
andito po siya sa PSRSD conducts nationwide household survey. We will be inviting this group. No, under din siya ng dangerous drugs eh. Yung survey na yun eh. I-ano natin, i-confirm natin tong validate natin tong nakita natin report sa kanila. Ako, I was really also, ano eh, shock, no? Sabi ko, bakit? From 2004, 6.7 million drug users, biglang bumaba siya, naging 1.7.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman Lacaste.
drug users lang ba yan o drug pusher? Drug users.
Ito maliwanag, Chairman Abante. The board has already conducted 2 nationwide surveys under the Public Act 9165 in 2004, which resulted with an estimated 6.7 million drug users, and in 2008, an estimated 1.7 million drug users, respectively, at the time those surveys were conducted. So, we need to invite them para malaman natin.
Pero hindi pa kasama, Mr. Chair, yung drug pushers dyan.
Drug users eh, nakalagay.
Drug users lang.
Yes. So, para ma-expound natin yung survey na ginawa nila, we'll be inviting them over and bring all those surveys they use para makita natin ano rin ang ginamit nilang parameters, why a sudden drop. Yung mga millions eh. From 2004 to 2008 eh. We need to find out.
Mr. Chair, di ba yung
Yes, Congressman Shito.
di ba pusher user din?
Hindi natin. Anyway, kung wala na po tayo, Chairman Parax.
Before we suspend, Mr. Chairman, we may also invite the representative from PDEA and the Dangerous Drugs Board, Mr. Chairman. Okay, Mr. Chairman.
So there's a motion to invite those personalities. Any second the motion? Duly seconded. Any objection?
Second the motion. Can we invite the former PDEA Director General? Kasi mas marami nasasagot yun kaysa kay DG Lasso eh. Kasi yung pag-uusapan natin yun during his time. Sino ba? Si Wilkins?
During this time? During that time, sino ba?
Si Wilkins. Can we invite him?
We'll be inviting him over as well. Sakino and Wilkins. Yes. Okay, there's a motion to invite those personalities as well. No objection? Right. So, any,
Motion to suspend, Mr. Chairman.
there's a motion to suspend, duly seconded. This hearing is now suspended. Thank you. Monday po tayo.